Well, Carlos King is having OG on. Let's see what she has to say. Now, if you want to talk about without further ado, Carlos, when you going to respond to Candy saying you tried to steal her life story and con Mama Joyce into telling you her business? When you going to talk about that? Probably the same time you talk about that light falling on Elise Neal's head. The 12th of Neville. The 12th of Neville. Carlos said, so how'd you go from being a fan favorite to fired? So she signed a 5-year contract originally, but they only used her for 2 seasons. She said they fired her on the 3rd year because they didn't want her to be her best self and they were giving her horrible edits. Some of that was you. But she wouldn't play ball and lie and say there wasn't colorism when there was. I mean, some of it was hazing, but some of it wasn't. These are some horrible harpies and some heartless heifers. So she got a pay increase when she signed up for her 3rd year, but they was gonna add on 2 more, so she was supposed to be on for 7 years. But Carlos asked, so why were you fired? Would you not extend? Did they want you to lie on air? What was it? Oh, goodness. Now she's saying, well, you know when you have verbal fights, you have wins. And I had multiple wins against the collective. You had a cute little scene with CC, but you wasn't winning like that. And wins and losses in arguments are not what the production talks about. They just want to make sure the scene is interesting so people tune in. They don't care who wins or loses. As long as advertisers want to buy during the show, they win. This sounds like something in your own head, OG. Yourself, your man, and your team were shaking the table too much? Your man was barely on the show. She said whoever kissed Shaunie's butt got access to information they shouldn't have, aka what you're saying behind the scenes so they can come at you ready. Oh, she got sued by Heffa Lozada. And then Heffa tried to get a restraining order against her, but it failed. And she's still in court with Evelyn over this lawsuit. You just wasting lawyer money. So Evelyn's changed lawyers 3 times. They're supposed to be in court in December. First, she was using Jen's divorce attorney. Then she was representing herself. Okay, so she's just trying to prolong this until you drop it. So now she's hired a new attorney and wants the next trial date June of 2024. Not 3, 4. This is why I don't play in court. She play it. Carlos sounds so bored. He sounds like he is not in the mood for this at all. He's like, oh God, this is a lot. If you didn't think she was interesting, why'd you book her? But this is kind of old tea, but it's Wednesday afternoon. I ain't got shit else to do. So Evelyn's saying she lost money because of these racist alligators. OG said, well, you have to have a good reputation to lose one, and she never had a good one. She lost her endorsements because of that pussy pat on cable TV, not because of me. OG is out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in legal fees just to deal with this mess. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. It don't cost that much to file a continuance. And you should be representing yourself until it actually goes to trial. Ain't no point in wasting your retainer. OG said Cece was the first one to call you racist because you were already making prejudiced remarks. And she right. Evelyn sued you, OG, not because you were dark-skinned, but because you had less money. Now, Cece has businesses and her man has coin. They could actually fight her in court. Okay, now we're getting into why was OG labeled ugly. It was because your eyelashes were doing all of this. You were giving a little too much side boob, and your toes were hanging out of them shoes. You didn't have your look together. It has nothing to do with your skin or your features. Your look just wasn't together. This is a Mean Girl show. They put Tammy light-skinned Roman through the same thing. When you ain't got your clothes together and everybody's all manicured down and done up in designer, they gonna come for you. When you got on somebody else's Louboutins, they gonna come for you. When you can put a curler on your eyelash, they gonna come for you. So Carlos asked, were they just hazing you or was it because of colorism? Oh God, that would be very difficult for me to answer because that would require me to be in their heads and know what they were thinking. Well, we can go over their behavior for the past, what? You came on season 8, 9? We could look at the other 8 seasons and 8 years of their behavior, and we saw the same thing. They bullied Mika, they bullied Tammy, they bullied Keisha. Lord, they bullied poor Susie off the show. She said, I had some fun scenes with some of the girls, but they wanted to perpetrate a narrative against me because of their own insecurities. But that's editing. That's not the Heffa's on the show. I mean, I guess shitty on nostril, but she ain't even got that much power. Ask Brandy Maxine, brown gel queen. Girl, now she talking in football terms, talking about offense and gameplay. Maybe you were a little too studly for this show. Oh goodness, you just now realized you had no allies on that show? Nobody does. And you thought Neki Christie was your friend. Neki Christie don't like her dark-skinned daughter, so if you really want to talk about colorism, I know you wouldn't con on nobody Jackie Christie. Neki Pisty. Tacky shitty. So then she brings up Kristen, and Carlos said, no, Kristen's a dark-skinned woman. They accepted her. OG said, well, it's about who's willing to kiss ass. Yeah, that's life. That is life. Especially on a show like that. You knew what you were signing up for. It's not like this is new information. So now we're going to get to the difference betwixt colorism and featureism. Because Kristen has more Eurocentric features, you feel she was accepted easier. I think it was more her ass kissing. But it could be a part of it. Child, we taking it back to house and field people now. So Carlos asked, so do you think they treated Kristen better because she was a butt kisser? And she says, I explained this before. I don't give a lot of interviews. You don't give a lot of interviews because ain't nobody thinking about you. You're forgettable. That's what you are. You're forgettable. You're nobody's star. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so damn forgettable got an interview with Carlos King too. I mean, it's not like you set the show on fire and then disappeared because of the bullshit. We was trying to rock with you, but we was like, we need something interesting. She said, in my opinion, there's 3 types of acceptable black people in Hollywood. The butt of the joke, Neki Pisty. Kristen is the yes woman. Now she's saying, my body is natural. Y'all forgetting about your before bodies with your non-existent booties and caved-in chin. She said, I was tired of hanging out with a room full of afters. After surgery. Evelyn Lozada natural too, she just evil. And if Jennifer got any work done, she need her money back. A producer on the show told Tammy OG was unattractive and she couldn't dress. I don't think she unattractive, but the Heffa couldn't dress and we all talked about it. I'm on my Candy Burris. I'm going to speak on it. OG said, I'm not taking fashion advice from those who pay stylists. Maybe you should just take some life advice from them then and hire people who know how to do certain things because you don't know how to do everything. And dressing yourself is one of them. Oh, you so draw and design. Is that why you look like crap all season? It was you? It was more than one producer that made that comment. Probably because it's true. She said I could still get a man though. Kwame's still with me. I got the man you want. Some overseas second string player? Okay, sis. Wait, you still ain't married? You've been together 8 years and still ain't married? Okay. Well, yeah, that's the man I want. Oh, yeah, that's what they want. A Sir String-Along. She said he loves it here because I have everything those women don't have. And that's why they're old and alone. Now she's saying they copying her style, her hair, her phone case? I didn't notice. I didn't see anybody with ill-fitting Louboutins on this season. I didn't see anybody's toe not just peeping out, but creeping out. You turned that tiny little peep toe into a toe hangout. It used to be peep and now it's full nude. Now OG is upset about the scene she shot getting into it where Malaysia was reading her wig. She said, I read Malaysia live. She had to read me in a confessional. So she said I told production my wig was messing up and they wouldn't help me take it down. That's reality TV. I mean, we saw Karen's wigs dang near slip off her whole head. So production then, of course, tells Malaysia to come after her for her hair. That's reality TV, and I mean, it's slow Lasia. She always needs a little help with the read. Carlo's gonna say every time you go to work, you shouldn't be attacked for your appearance. You're on a reality show called Basketball Wives. It's about being rich and glamorous and kept. Like, if you were talking about working in an office, hell yeah, you're 100% right. But when you literally spend money and can write off your clothes from your paycheck because wardrobe is a part of what you do, come on now. She said the sit down with Mark Lamont Hill was damage control. It was not an apology to me. She said Fico Nostril never had a one-on-one conversation with me on or off camera. She's never reached out to apologize because she doesn't have the guts. She's evil. She's evil. Well, damn, tell us how you really feel. OG said Shitty O'Nostril has a foul spirit about her. She said you should have talked to me, not Mark Lamont Hill. He's another acceptable black person who will fall in line. I know Mark is like, now how did I get in it? She said what he was told to do was wrong and he knew it. What did he do other than host a conversation? Oh, so you came back to the reunion because you hadn't gotten paid for the season yet and you was trying to renegotiate. So they coin checked you. Damn. OG said I was willing to move forward and agree to disagree, but they wanted me to keep talking about it so I would look crazy. I could see that. She still wants to do reality TV and is still close with Chad Ochocinco. He may be Ocho Cinco, but he'll always be a deuce to me. But child, that was the shit. So I'ma see you soon for something.